Come here. Yes, my baby girl. All right, hey everyone. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube lately. You know, I'm a big gun guy, so I've seen a lot of videos on a lot of different, guns, and I wanted to make a video of mine because I've seen this particular model, but everybody, 95% of all the videos on it are 9mm. This is the pistol here. This is the Sig SP2022. What is unique about this particular model is that mine, and it is clear, I just cleared it, empty magazine. It is completely empty, nothing in the chamber. Empty there. This one happens to be chambered in 357 Sig. This is my everyday carry. Just don't see too many people reviewing this particular one. You can see there it says Sig Sauer Sp2022. If I flip it around, see if I can get this thing to focus here. It says 357 Sig. Love this gun. I do have the Sig Light night sights on here. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get the sights to show up. Put these lights off. See if we can get it. Don't know. There we go. Kind of see them there. The front one and the two rear sights. So they are the Sig Light night sights. Now I did buy this particular pistol used. Only came with one magazine when I bought it. From what I was told, this one was an actual issue pistol from Richmond Police. They are the only ones that I've ever heard of that actually had the SP2022 in 357 Sig. Hopefully pretty soon I will be able to do a shooting review. I love this gun. Like I said, it is the one that I use. I carry it every day. I also use it for work. I am a certified armed guard in my state, and I qualified with this pistol. Unfortunately, the company I work for did not help with the cost of the ammunition. I used my own gun, had to provide my own ammo. They would provide 40 or 9mm. And for the first year I worked with the company, I used their pistol, which I did not like. It was the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. They also have used police trade-in Glock 17s, Glock 19s, and I can't say I can't stand them. I don't care for Glocks. Not that I'm a Sig fan or a fan of anything else. I have had Glocks. The first pistol I ever shot was a Glock 17 9mm. Again, no problem with Glocks. I just personally don't like them because of the cost. And to be honest with you, this Sig is cheaper, but it's close to the same cost as a much smaller, much lighter Glock. I'm just not a big fan. Glocks to me are kind of like Hondas. Everybody and their brother's got one, and I like things that are different. A couple of the other guns that I have had over the years that have been sort of oddballs are an Arcus 98 DAC, and I hate this thing because sometimes it doesn't want to fit. Come on now. Oh, might help if I actually get it on the rail here. That was a epic fail there. Let's see if I can get this thing actually lined up properly. There we go. Get my pin back in here. There we go. I had the Arcus 98 DAC in 9mm. I have had the, see if I can get this to refocus. There we go. I've had an AMT Backup 45. I absolutely hated that gun. It's like a 1 1/4 inch barrel with 45 ACP. Thing kicked like a mule. I hated it. I love a 1911. I hated the AMT Backup. Just, I saw one video on it here on YouTube. A gentleman was reviewing it and he was shooting it and he said he loved it, but every time he pulled the trigger, the damn thing looked like it was going to jump out of his hands. I ended up trading it. Now I have had, like I said, multiple different odd guns. Actually, before I got this one, I traded in a Canik TP9. It was not the SF, it wasn't the SA, it was the original Canik TP9, and the reason I traded it is it was starting to get a little bit worn out. My sights had gotten off a little bit and I just couldn't get it right. It did come brand new with interchangeable front posts. There's a little Allen key that holds them into the slide. But for some reason over the years I had lost it. And so I traded that in and ended up picking this one up. Like I said, it was secondhand and it was in the condition that you see it, except for the filled in letters here. I did that myself. It is a sort of a, I don't know what it is. It was supposed to be gold, but it had a lot of what looked like gigantic glitter flakes in it. So I don't care for that too much. I think I'm going to end up taking that off. Same thing on the barrel there. I just don't care for it a whole lot. But other than that, the condition you see it in is the exact way that I bought it. I think at my local pawn shop. Found it for right around $400 used. So it wasn't too bad. I paid $350 brand new for the Canik. I think I paid $350 brand new for the Arcus. I only gave a friend of mine who was a bail bondsman, I think, $150 for the AMT backup. But I like odd brand guns. Things that most people haven't heard of. Canik is actually the exception. A lot of people have started getting into it, but mostly in the newer versions like the TP9 SA or the the Elite and all that stuff. I would love to get my hands on another one, but funding and all. This is the only pistol that I have left. I've also had Tauruses. I've had everything from 22 long rifle pocket pistols all the way up to 45. Never had like the FN that holds 15 rounds. I've had a couple cheaper 1911s, nothing Colt or Smith & Wesson or anything like that. They've been more like, Rock Island Armory 45 1911s, which I haven't had an issue with those. I mean, I've had high points. Never had the 45 in a high point. I had the 380, the 9, the 40, and then I've had two versions of the 995 9mm carbine. I had the original one with the solid stock, and I had the new one with the skeletonized stock and the little springy rubber butt pad on it. They do actually very well. I think they could do without the little recoil spring butt pad on it, but I said I absolutely love this. This is my concealed carry, even though it is very, very wide. I am a bigger person. I will include a picture of this in my concealed carry holster, which at the moment is just a small strap of leather you can buy at Walmart. I think they're $14, $15. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I shot daytime and nighttime when I qualified with this as an armed guard with the state. In my state, police officers have to score a minimum of 70% when they qualify. Security guards, we have to score a minimum 80% to qualify, because even though we are in a uniform, we carry a gun, we have to follow the same rules as everybody else. We do not have power of arrest. We do not have, a city or municipality to back us up in a use of force. We're basically on our own if we ever have to use our weapon, just like any, Joe Blow walking in off the street going grocery shopping. If we have to use it, we have to follow the same rules. So the state wants us to be a little bit more disciplined with our shooting. I scored a 96 daytime and a 90 nighttime the last time I qualified, which was back in October. So I said, this is my everyday carry, and like I said, it's something that don't see a whole lot of videos on. You see videos of the 357 Sig. Most of the time it is Smith & Wessons, like the M&P or the Glocks. Very rarely do you ever see a Sig in 357 Sig on YouTube, and I have never seen a review of the SP2022 in 357 Sig. They do not offer this in 357 Sig anymore. The way to get this now would be to buy the 40 caliber, which is available. Set this over to the side here. The 40 caliber, and then spend another $180 some for a 357 Sig barrel. Incidentally, this is completely changeable. Let me grab this magazine here. And you can actually see on the magazine, it says, well, let me turn it where we can see it here. It says Sig Pro, and on it, it is marked 40 Smith & Wesson 357 Sig. Everything on this gun is completely interchangeable. The only thing you need to do to switch from 40 to 357 is change the barrel. I do not have the 40 barrel for it. I don't plan on getting it. I like the power of the 357 Sig. 40 casing, 9mm bullet. It's 1 grain heavier than your typical 9mm. 9mm you can get in 115 grain is typical, 124 grain is typical. This is 125 grain. This particular one, and I've had a lot of people ask me, aren't those bullets illegal? No, they're not. This is a solid copper hollow point. It is nickel-plated brass, and the coating on this is just to keep corrosion off of the copper. Like I said, the hollow point is a solid copper projectile. I've not seen this particular brand on YouTube. The closest thing I can find is made by the same company, but has been rebranded as the Colt solid copper hollow point by GBW. This particular one I got at Bud's Gun Shop. Ordered it online, and it is Legend Pro by GBW. So basically the exact same thing as the Colt solid copper hollow point made by GBW. It's just a different box. This is actually what I prefer to carry. I've had good performance out of this. I plan on trying to capture one of these. The 9mm have some issues with the pedals actually breaking off. The 40 and 45 caliber do pretty good, and I have not seen a review on the 357, so I plan on trying to do a water jug test, maybe a gel block test to try to capture one, see if the 357 with its higher velocity has the same issue as the 9mm with the pedals breaking off. So hopefully sometime soon I will get a video of that coming out. I also have basic Winchester white box, and I have some of these, which I do not care for. Again, nickel-plated brass, but this is, if you can see here, this is the Sig Sauer V-Crown hollow point, and these don't really impress me too much. The reviews I have seen on this show that, you know, they get clogged a little bit easier. The expansion isn't always uniform on these, and again, with the ones that I carry, which are the GBWs, I haven't done any testing. I do know that they are fairly accurate because it is what I used to qualify with, and again, 96 and a 90. When I qualified, I do like these. That being said, hopefully really soon I can get a video out on the range, and we can see exactly what is going on with this particular round. And I don't know exactly what the manufacture date of this pistol is. I know it does not have the loaded chamber indicator, and the extractor is not external, it is internal. It doesn't have the little bar sticking out of here like some of the 40s and some of the 9s do. And as far as I know, the 9mm is the only one with the loaded chamber indicator on the top. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sure someone will let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed that little review. If you want a full review of the pistol, the reviews of this particular pistol are all over YouTube. They can be found everywhere. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.